So we were with you last week at Portsmouth. How did it go?
In Portsmouth, it went great. I'm there not just to see a game, I'm there to talk about all the players, and also all the capital X, the investment in the training ground, in the changing rooms, in Fratton Park. But the game itself, we played well. They were very aggressive, and fortunately it was a draw. We played terribly the week before, and we just came alive. Fratton Park, which is the stadium this historic stadium, is just a fantastic place. You're close to the pitch. We renovated it.
Now, preceding you buying Portsmouth, I know you scouted teams for a while with your wife, sister, one of your sons. What was involved with that?
Well, I figured having, been involved with ESPN, buying Capital Cities ABC, having the Los Angeles Angels, the Mighty Ducks, we started. I knew how important sports was to broadcasters, to everybody. The NFL, I think, is 97% the number one show that week. You can't buy a league, but you could get involved with the team. And I liked the idea. The Mighty Ducks was, from our movies that we made, it was a silly name. People mocked us, and they didn't when we won the Stanley Cup.
Well, and for a while, you guys were I think, making up 80% of the NHL's merchandise sales.
We did well. It was a new franchise, and the Angels, the previous owner, Gene Autry, had never won the World Series, and we did it with scrappy young players. But anyway, I thought a great asset and fun asset in the family that plays together, stays together. I thought it'd be great for my family. And we looked all over the world. We first looked at MLS here. It seemed overpriced to me at the time. We looked at teams in Europe. It seemed like the only real center of soccer, football, as it were, was the UK. We looked at teams in the UK.
You negotiated with a couple Premier League clubs for a little bit, right?
We did, but in the end of the day, I just wanted to build from scratch. We really were the Wrexham strategy 3 years before Wrexham. And I thought, geez, I didn't want to be in England and be Hollywood, and we would just concentrate on sports. Ryan Reynolds got ahead of us smartly and went to Northern Wales. We went to Southern England, and we're building a team up from scratch.
Take me to May of 2017, Portsmouth, Guildhall, and the pitch that you kind of had to give.
What I would bring to my role as an owner of Pompey is the same attention to detail that I brought to Disney. No detail is too small. Whether it's the condition of the bathrooms, sight lines from the stands, maintenance of the pitch, quality of the radio and TV coverage, and of course, continuing the quality of the beer.
Well, we had gone all over, and most of the places were for sale or they were interested. Portsmouth really wasn't, but we learned that it was owned by the fans, and the CEO, not the board, was kind of interested in us, and he said, come on down, and we got in his car, and we got there, and we drove around, and Eric, my son, said to me, Dad, this is it, now or never. How much more are we going to fly all over the world looking for a team? And then we went to the game, the match, and it really was like the Final Four in the US, but every game is like that. They've been in the Premier League. They had 3 owners that went broke. So it's the second most bombed city outside of London because of the Navy during the Second World War. There's so much history. They're so passionate. Very working class city.
What were some of the issues you recognized upon taking over, and how have you gone about trying to resolve those?
Well, it was attractive because there was no value, so we were able to get in there. I didn't realize how much we'd have to spend in bringing it back, but it was what I like. It's looking for something to, instead of buying up here, buying down here, and then getting it up there.
And you spent way more bringing it back than you did on purchasing the actual team.
By multiples, yes. Yeah, we did. And we did a lot of due diligence, and we were underestimating. We had to build a whole new stand, sprinkler systems, exits, get rid of safe standing. Food was awful. We're still working on things that I learned at Disney. And
Like what?
well, we had when the fans were running it, the management was doing great, but I had them come up and go to the Disney University to learn the obvious, which is how to take care of the public. And we've worked on that. We've worked on everything to do with dealing with the public. And of course, we've improved the squad.
How do things stand today with the team and kind of the revitalization of it relative to where you were expecting it would be at this point?
Well, I didn't expect to win the World Series for the Angels. I didn't expect to get in the Stanley Cup for the Ducks. Nobody expected that. We've been at it for 7 or 8 years. The pyramid in English football, the pyramid starts with the Premier League with 20 teams, and then there's 72 teams in the EFL below the pyramid. And we're now in the league just below the Premier League, the championship. It's very exciting and very expensive. Everybody loses money. Parliament has made a law with an administrator who's going to adjudicate how the money gets determined. Right now, the Premier League in the media takes 96% of the revenue for 20 teams, and 4% goes to the other 72 teams, which means the other 72 teams are all losing money and going broke, except for the ones that are owned by super billionaires and Eastern monarchs and things like that. So the economics are very difficult, but they'll get better.